Hey, thank you for joining me. Round 1 of this Shardless Valki League. It looks like we're on the draw. Let's see. Only one land isn't great, but we have a lot of stuff against unfair decks and a ponder to find more land. No clue what my opponent could be on, but I'm just gonna keep it, hope the forces are good, and go from there. Island, ponder, it's enough for me. Great, we drew a land. I'm still gonna ponder here, just trying to find a third card we want. Let's see. Trophy isn't too ideal in the early part of the game, and I don't really need the Valki here either. I mean, I wouldn't mind casting Valki on turn 2, but let's just shuffle this up. And we got a 2-drop that might draw us into another land. That's great. Gemstone Mine. So our opponent could be on a lot of different decks now, but probably something unfair. And it's pretty likely, seeing how many people are trying it at the moment, that this is a Cascade Valki list. Since they've been moving towards 5-color as well. Here at end of turn, I'm just going to try and resolve the Icewind Codal to draw the new card. Let's see, I don't really need double blue. Well, it would be nice to have Force for Negation up, I guess. But having access to black if I draw a Thoughtseize or a Valki is probably more important. So I'm gonna go for the Bayou here. Let's see. Let's try to do fair things against our probably a fair opponent. That's a shame. We're missing our third land drop. It would be great to just be start casting the Shardless agents here, but as is, we're discarding. I could get rid of one of the blue cards, but I think Dead of Winter is pretty unlikely to be needed here. So really need a third land here. Oh, that was great. I'm gonna do this pre-combat. I don't think there's a big difference here, but there's a chance I don't want to attack. Blue-green might be the safest in case they randomly have a wasteland. I still have most of my colors. And I can fetch a basic forest here. So I think I'm going to go for Shardless. I don't mind getting a bit of card advantage here. And it may put on more pressure than Oko. Okay, cast a Brainstorm. We could set up the second Shardless with this, and we will. So we're putting that there, and we're drawing the other Valki next turn. That's fine. So now we have 3 forces up still, and next turn we're gonna try and resolve a Valki of our own. Let's see if that's good enough. I'm wondering what my opponent is on. It has to be some kind of combo deck, but almost all combo decks go off at 3 mana, or at least start doing stuff. So I'm kind of wondering what this is. Like Rainbow Depths, but it's also unlikely that they never play a discard spell or any of their creatures earlier. So my bet would still be on a Cascade Valki combo-based variant, but I'm not sure at this point. Red, white. Spirit Guide. And they're keeping up some kind of interaction. Casting a Spirit Guide. Okay. Sure. Let's just cast a Shardless here. I'm thinking about whether it's more important to keep a blue or black-green. I think because of Thoughtseize, I'll just do this. Cast a Tibalt. Spell Pierce. Now, do I care enough about this? Tibalt is going to draw me a bunch of new cards, which is great. But I'm not sure what they're up to yet. Is Tibalt worth going down one of my force effects? I'll still have 2 up. I think it is. I'm not sure. If I had a better read on what they were on, I would probably let this get countered. But I'm still guessing that their plan is to get Tibalt into play as well. In which case, well, I'd rather be the first one to have it in play. Misdirection targeting fossil will. Okay, so they're definitely the Tibalt deck. Getting rid of a fossil will. Could have countered this, but at this point I'm just letting it all resolve. I'm not gonna pitch more forces now. So these are both countering my Tibalt now, so now I can let it resolve, but that's fine. I'm just hoping they don't go off next turn, so I can start keeping up force negation then. It was pretty likely that they have a handful of permission, but no business, like Cascade. But yeah, maybe that's a reason to just go for it there. But there's a big chance they force back, but our forces are gonna trade anyway. Yeah, there's the outburst into a spell. Oh yeah, I missed that. They played the spell pierce. Oh, that's so bad. Why are there spell pierces in their deck? Ouch. Okay, so now I get to keep up force negation or casting my Valki. See what they have going on there. Yeah, so as expected, a lot of permission. Just gonna start beating them down. Double misdirection and a false will. Good thing for me is that if they draw something, they can only protect once, even with those 3 blue cards. So. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, maybe Thoughtseize into misdirection isn't too great of an idea. On the other hand, if they try to misdirection it, I just force negation back, and at that point, the game is basically over. Yeah, I'm gonna Thoughtseize here, so I can use my hardcast force negation for sure. And just get their entire hand, or they let it resolve, and then it's also fine. Then I just get rid of their force will. I think, yeah. Yeah, let's attack. This is for 3, so with the Ice Fang added, it'll be 5. Before, and we'll have lethal, so looking good, looking good. Let's see what they have. More than plea, cascading into a Tibalt. And we'll force negation that Tibalt. No misdirection, my force negation. With force of will, their Tibalt again. In this case, I can just let the misdirection resolve since all the other spells in the deck are there. So. That should be fine. So this is not countering themselves, and I'll just counter the Tibalt. So our opponent is basically doing what we're doing, but a lot better. But not this game, they didn't really get there. Okay, so for this matchup we have the blue elemental blast in our sideboard. We already have a bunch of assassin trophies to deal with their stuff. Depending on what version they're playing, we might want to have a decay. Corporate isn't really doing anything. Pyroblast is good against their pile of forces. Flusterstorm is good against their pile of forces. Brazen Borer could return an early Tibalt to their hand. Might be worth something. I think these are the cards I can consider. I don't think I want that of Winter in this matchup. Uro is kind of a liability. Like if they hardcast the Valki, I need to be able to kill this, and I don't have that much removal in my deck, so I think I want to take that out. Other than that, so I definitely want this one. Let's see, what else can we board? We could get rid of a land. We could just take out some of our own pressure. Maybe get rid of some Ice Fangs. Something like those cards. Talsies isn't great against misdirection, but it's also not too bad. It's basically a 2 for 2. Except that they get to choose one of them, but I think I like doing it like this. From what I've seen, they didn't have many 3-drops in their deck, so maybe we just go like this. And if we see Okos and stuff, we board these back in. And we also have Pyroblast for stuff like Oko, so this would be nice against stuff like Defense Grid. Is there anything we'd want it over? The Shardless Ages did get a lot worse with all these cards being added into the mix, but we're just gonna try and set them up with Ponder and Brainstorm and just use them as value cards. Let's see. On the draw again, of course. We have blue elemental as Force of Will, no other blue card, and Lape to fix our mana for the Valki. I don't think this is great, especially since this also only looks at one additional card, but we do have Force of Will, both of the Blast Colors, and an early play. So I'm going to keep it, even though I'm not too happy with it. It's a bit of a shame that as it looks right now, we're going to have to pitch our blue elemental with Blast to Force of Will if we want to cast that. Which means that there's a consideration to keep mana open for Pyroblast or Blue Blast here. In which case that would mean we're not casting the Astrum Acrolab until turn 2 and then delaying our Valki until turn 3. Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's a bit rough that if we want to Pyroblast something, we have to get our Volcanic Island. But we can still get a basic with this land, so I'm guessing they're gonna cascade here. Nothing. Alright. Ooh, another land. That's great. At this point, I'm just gonna keep up the one land for my blasts, but I'm gonna run out the Astrolabe now. I think it's best to do that with a island here, since that would help me keep up other spells in next turn, like the Blue Blast. It's a bit rough for the trophy if we don't resolve this, but because we also have the Tropical Island, I don't think that's a problem. So now we have a blue card for Force of Will, which means that we can tap out of our blue Elemental Blast and still blast the Valki on the next turn if we need to. So what I want to do here is Force of Will their Tibalt. Then you Spiral Blast on like their Misdirection or whatever they have, and then have the blue Elemental Blast or trophy up for their Tibalt, assuming it resolves, which I think it is pretty likely to. I mean, their deck is basically a pile of Cascade cards and forces, so Let's see. We want to be able to cast Assassin's Trophy if we have to, so I think, yeah, it doesn't matter too much. We've filtered the mana now through the lab. Yeah, I'll get a C. Big red and Pyroblast, the misdirection. And now we lose this fight if they have another force, but then at least we can get rid of the Tibalt next turn. Okay, that's better. Not the most powerful of turns here, but we're definitely just gonna take a look at their hand and see what they're working with. An Elfish Spirit Guide. Well, at least it's a card they're not gonna have in their hand now, since they're probably unlikely to remove it here. There's the Foothills, and did they draw another Cascader? Oh, that's annoying for us, but at least we have the Blue Elemental Blast here. I mean, they have a lot of Exalted, so if they have a Spirit Guide that attacks for 4, it's pretty good. Pretty nice for us that we drew another blue card and another Blue Elemental Blast. Yeah, we know about one more Mana Confluence. There's the next Cascade card. They are top decking all of them. Ooh, Lavinia. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to trophy that, so we can keep the pressure up. And yeah, I don't think giving them another land here is too much of an issue, because we have to blast for the Hardcast Valki even. That was great. So now we get to... This means that if they top deck another Cascader this turn, we might have to force a will. But putting up this pressure is just too important, since now they're on a 3-turn clock. We basically didn't have any clock at all, so. Did they top deck another Cascade spell? No. Okay, that's fine. I'll just turn my Valki into a 3/3 and attack with both again. Yeah, I think I should have cast a Valki there, but I do know they have Spellpiercer in the deck, but still, getting to know what their last card was. I wasn't sure if that was the Mana Confluence anymore, but yeah. Okay, that was the match. I'll see you folks for the next round. Yeah, that was the first Valki Mirror.